Hello everyone, this is Fly Comics. Just got in some graded books that are all actually the same book. It's Mortal Hulk number 15. So basically what happened is I ordered 4 copies through a pull list. I'm not going to say which comic book store, but they were not handled right. I'm sorry. They were handled right, but the production wasn't done well. But they gave me 4 what I think are terrible condition books. So I just wanted to do a test. So I sent them all out to CGC to get them graded and to see what the grade would come back as. I already saw the grades. So what we're going to do is just going to open up this box and we're going to see what happened and why they received this grade. Now, on CGC's site, they don't give grades for 9.6 and 9.8. I don't know what the situation is with that. I think they should. You're paying for their services. Tell me what's wrong so I can take a look at it and distinguish why I got this grade. But I have no idea, probably because they don't want to show how they grade things. So I'm going to open up this box now. I gotta say, their wrapping is pretty damn good. And I will tell you the cost of how much it cost me to ship them and how long it took to get them. You know, all that information. So, they packed this very well. A lot of bubble wrap, probably too much bubble wrap, but it's nice. You know, I can use these. Their boxes used to be a lot better than this. This is kind of flimsy. It got kind of squished here, but I wasn't too concerned because I know they wrap very well. But their boxes for $5, their packaging is pretty amazing. For their packaging, shipping, and I'm sorry, for their handling. All right, so now they're all the same books. 3 of them got the same grade, and there is 1 high one. So I'm going to show you the 3 that got the 9.6, I'm going to show you where the condition was. I gotta say, I do love their cases. I think they're pretty phenomenal. And the labels are a lot better too as well. I'm just going to take a... So this is the Mortal Hulk number 15. I love this, you know. Hulk is being interviewed by Samson, the therapist, and there's just a funny plot. The cover's funny, I mean. So, to get them graded, it costs $19. To ship them through USPS, I paid $10.45, and to ship them back with handling was $25 more. So you figure it out, take out a calculator, and you can get the cost on how much it is for each book. I did not do it, and I'm not going to do it now. So the other 2 books that I have here are graded as a 9.6. I'm going to sell them off. I just wanted to do a test. Okay. Now on the spine, there was a manufacturing defect, and I'm just gonna get up close here. You know, unfortunately that light is. You can see all the stress lines that it had. You can see the white areas if it zooms in properly. Okay, so there's a lot. That's the main culprit right there, that white spot. It actually was a ding, got scraped through manufacturing because all 4 books had it. And you could actually, when you open up the cover, you can see through it, which I thought was incredible. Especially when a book is $4.9. What is this? How much was this? $3.99, $4. You know, for a hole in your comic book when you first get it. I can understand if, you know, the comic shop mishandle it, but the printing process should be a lot better. Now there are a lot of white tick marks. See that right there? going up and down the spine. There's more like that. I'm going to tell you my conclusion on why I think this got a 9.6 and not lower, which I think should have gotten a lower grade. So what I think happens is that they know it is a production error. Unfortunately, I didn't look at these books when I picked them up. But I would never buy a book like that. You know, I like to keep my books fairly intact and at a 9.8 level if I can. But this bind here is terrible. It probably should have gotten a 9.0, to tell you the truth. You know, it's the same throughout the comics, because I just think Marvel uses crap ink, and it does smear sometimes when you hold it and lifts off with the fingerprints. Nothing should do that with any of these new comic books. I mean, I think that's just insane. Now, that happened throughout all the 9.6, but luckily, you know, I got a 9.8 here, and I was not even expecting that. I thought maybe a 9.6 for this one, and the rest would be a 9.4 and below. You know, it is a nice cover, and there are still, I mean, you can see, look at how did they get a 9.8 on that? I think this is the worst one. You see that? Right there. I would never buy anything like that. Again, I didn't check these before I bought them, but I was in a rush. I live in New York City, and you know, we're always rushing. We never take time for anything. But you could see that. Look at the binding. It's terrible. And the white spots. You know, and I really don't understand why this got a 9.8. You know, I don't know. It kind of irks me that it would get a 9.8. And, you know, how much confidence you would have in, you know, their grading. I think this 9.6 is a better bind. Oh, they're all pretty terrible. But these cases are nice, I gotta say. So, they are CGC. They grade. They're the Rolls Royce of the grading companies. They know, they're supposed to know what they're doing, right? So, I'm not gonna question it. It's a 9.8. It's a 9.8. In my heart, it's not, but they're saying it's a 9.8, so I'm gonna keep it as a 9.8. This is going to go in my collection. The other three I'm going to sell. But again, be wary of what you send in, and then make sure, you know, you try and send your best copies that you have. And I sent this right after the book came out. So when it came out on a Wednesday, I shipped it out the same day or the following day. And it took about 33 business days to get back, which is not bad. I thought it would be a lot longer, to tell you the truth. You know, I've been hearing horror stories of 6 months. I didn't even do the express one where, you know, you check off a box and you could do an express where you get it half the time. I don't think it's worth it. Maybe if you're a business or something and need to do it, I can understand that. And if it's a high value book, I would never grade anything like this. Again, I just wanted to do a test to see what their grading would be. All right. If I was a grader, and I'm not, but I know how to grade my own comic books. I've been doing it since I was 8 years old. Not grading, but collecting. And you know, you study up if you're a hobbyist, and you learn the trades, and you know how to grade something like this. They even give you instructions in Overstreet guides, and they made a specific book just for grading. I'll show you that later. I think it's a great book, and to get a 9.8, they say like one ding. You know, maybe this corner can have like a slight fleck of white, and that's about it. That's about it. I'm going to send in some pretty pristine books later that I'm going to get graded, and this is a 9.8, and those are 9.9s. You know, I mean, that's my feeling. But we'll see. We'll see. I thought I was pretty lenient on grading, but this is I think it's unacceptable, to tell you the truth. So be cautious of what you send out and what you buy. When I had my Ultimate Spider-Man #1 white cover graded, I got a 9.8. Now, I was not pissed or anything. What I was pissed at, excuse my language, was when I received it. Now, when I received it, there was this white 2 inches dog ear bend. I looked at it and I was like, what's in the name? So I called up CGC. I'm like, this is highly unacceptable. I didn't send a booking like this. It was wrapped perfectly to you guys. There's no way that this happened unless you guys did it. You put it in, gave it a 9.8, slapped it on, and sent it to me. I would never accept anything like that. I would never send in it to be graded if it had that. They apologized and they sent me another one that was a 9.8. I'm like, how do you have that 9.8? What, are you keeping comic books in stock just in case, someone calls you or something happens to their books and you can give it to... That made no sense to me. I'm like, how is this possible? How do you have another Ultimate Spider-Man White Edition and a 9.8 just sitting there so you can send it to me? I didn't question it. I was just stunned that was even possible. So, I mean, there's some people saying that, they... I would hate to repeat this, but maybe they could be right. They keep books on hand that aren't 9.8s, but are actually a 9.4s and 9.6s. They grade them 9.8s, and then they keep the actual 9.8s on hand for themselves. There's no way to prove that unless you work there and you know. If that is true, CGC would go down the tubes, and it would be pretty unacceptable. But I'm gonna accept this 9.8, and I know it's not a 9.8. So be wary, guys. Make sure that you get. I know these are my comic books because those dings there. I know, and they would never accept. If this was a 9.9, they would never. They would never call this a 9.9 with those dings on the side like that. I mean, you could see right through them. Anyways, just wanted to show an examples of what I think and what their grading system is, and maybe a mythoid in there for you guys. But maybe if you have any horror stories from them, just let me know, and see what we can do. But yeah, man, that Ultimate Spider-Man, I was livid. Unfortunately, I gave it up. Sold it for a really good price. That book was just insane. I have to get it back. I mean, another cover. I mean, I don't know why I did it. It was through my college days, and I needed money, but I sold it, and I sold it at its height. Right now, it's still pretty high, but it was higher back then than it is now. So, just wanted to let you know. How long it took? It's about $25, $26 a book. I wouldn't grade anything that's not of any importance. I just wanted to see, with 4 different books with similar problems, some things were bigger than others. The 9.8, I believe, is the one you couldn't see through, but it's still a substantial ding. And I think the turnaround time was actually pretty good. I don't think it's that horror story of 6 months. Now, if you're having them press it and then grade it, that I think will probably take 6 months. It's already been 2 months, so maybe 3 months, minimum 3 months. But let me know if you had any other horror stories from CGC. I'm not bashing CGC. I'm just showing you how they graded these comic books. All right, I like CGC. I think they're a great company. I have books that have been graded by them, and they're perfectly on scale to what they should be. So I'm not bashing them. I have a whole collection of CGCs. But I haven't sent it in years, so I don't know what their standard is, or if they're just rushing their process. I don't know. But man, that spine right here, it's 2 inches worth, an inch and a half maybe, of loss of color and some streaking here. But yeah, so let me know, and I'll talk to you guys later. All right, bye.